to Board Game Empire. Today we're going to be doing a review of Wild Serengeti.
Okay, so now we just finished doing the playthrough, the video, and so we're just wanted to do the review while it's fresh on our mind, and we just enjoyed it. And so we're just going to go through each person, what they enjoyed about it, maybe some what they thought was negative or could be improved on, and we'll do the review right after that. And so I'm just going to ask my wife what she enjoyed about it.
Well, I thought this game was amazing. And I actually said it in the playthrough because a light bulb went off once we were almost done that I had totally forgot that this was a prototype that we were playing. That's how well made this game is already. Like the components, the rule book, everything is so well thought of. And in my opinion, it seems complete. I know there will probably be making changes and improvements, but to me, it's an amazing game already. So I'm excited to see what they do with the actual game in the Kickstarter that starts soon. So we're really excited to see that. So overall, I thought it was a great game. I can't really think of anything negative to say about it, and I really don't think it would be fair to say anything negative because it is a prototype. So I guess the only constructive criticism I would give, when it's not really even a criticism, is what Anthony had said in the playthrough, maybe add more specialist cards, which I could see they probably will, which are the cards that you get to draw at the beginning of the game as your special ability. That's really the only thing I could think of to add to the game. But I know how Kickstarters work, and they're always doing stretch goals. So I could totally see them already having that in the works. So really, that's not even criticism whatsoever. It's an amazing game, and it's a fun family game. We had fun as a family, and I could see kids probably, 9 or 10? 10 under.
I guess there are a lot of rules to remember. Yeah,
I mean, Quentin had no problem, but he's 11. So, but I could see if they're really intelligent, maybe 9, but 10, easily a 10-year-old could understand this game. And it was very quick and easy to learn. The rule book's written well, and this is just a prototype of the rule book. But I mean, it has great illustrations. The numbers coincide with the photo that you're looking at to the very right of the setup instructions. So it's probably one of the easiest games I feel to set up and get started. And I don't have anything but good things to say about it. And I'm just excited about the Kickstarter version of it.
All right. What do you?
I think that the board game's amazing for a prototype. It feels complete. When we were playing the board game, I completely thought that this was the complete board game. This is probably one of our favorite board games so far. And I don't have anything really negative to say, but one thing I would like to add is what Anthony said, where there's more of the cards, more powers. And another thing that I would like to see is maybe you can make these coins these coins, maybe metal coins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
That would be really cool. Maybe more animals, and maybe you can vary the boards or be more boards or something.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And this could also be cooler.
Yeah.
But I don't really have anything negative to say about the game. Just improvements that they could add to make the game even better than it already is.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my thoughts on the game. I think that's amazing.
Okay, my analysis of the game is pretty much a great game. All the components are amazing. Like he stated, I could see them doing an upgrade for the coins being metal. Mm-hmm. The food kind of like jelly type. The I forget what these tokens are. SFX having some cool texture or something with it. And then this, I hope they have more of a wood option.
Or plastic.
Yeah, wood or plastic. the cardboard has a tendency you have to once you scrape it kind of ruins it over time, and you constantly have to rebuild it. And so plastic or wood would pretty much fix that portion of it. And then just like he said, if they had more different boards, like, is this double-sided? I don't think it is it?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Let's see. No, it's not double-sided. Like having a double-sided board where there's a different map, that would be cool. Where there's more like rocks or different things, so it would help with the replayability and more of a challenge. Because if you have like only like a few water and just everything else is like grass and different terrains, and then the water is just very limited, like most Serengeti and stuff like that. That would put a great element to it.
Oh, like a difficulty level?
Yeah.
Like hard and normal and hard?
Oh, yeah. And then also, the round thing doesn't really matter. If you want a shorter game, you can always just stop at, round 5, round 4. Those things are just,
house rules adjustable if you wanted.
Yeah. So, and then the wood components are just amazing. Those I wouldn't change. Those, I can't see them being better at plastic, because the wood one, I think, is actually the better for this type of game. And so, just really great, amazing looking game. And there's only just upgrades really that are the negative aspect to it. And so, and of course the double-sided board would just be amazing for difficulty level, because once I'm guessing this is probably like 30, 40 games, you're going to want a more difficult board. And so you could just flip it. So, you could play this game probably for years and then just change the difficulty. And then once they come out with an expansion that puts more different elements to the game, yeah, I could see this lasting probably 5 to 10 years with a high, audience of really enjoying the game. Mm-hmm. So, okay, so now we're just going to go to the review portion. So the rules and everything, what did you think of it?
Oh, I am a pet peeve. One of my pet peeves is vague rules. This rule book is excellent. So I would give that 5 stars. I'm very picky on the rules, and I had no issue following the rules. I had no questions. I could easily reference. And honestly, it's so well written, I didn't even have to reference the book hardly ever. After reading through, figuring out how to play it, with the player aids give you everything you need. So there was no reason to ever really look at the book after you read it, which is awesome, which is, to me, the sign of an excellent rule book, because after you read it, how to play it. So definitely 5 stars on that.
Yeah, what do you think about the rules and everything?
I think that it's a really good rule book, because, I'm young and I can understand the board game, and I didn't have any questions while we were playing the board game, and it really helps. All you need is the rule book to play the board game, and it fully explains all the rules of the game, and you can reference it if you need it to see what it is. And the player aids are really good, because they have what all the icons do. They give you how many points you have for hearts. They say what the rares and what the paw plants do. So the player aid also adds to the rule portion of the game. I think that the rules are easily a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree with them. It's definitely one of the better rule books. And the player aid is actually, a lot of player aids have a tendency to just have one side, or just have one side, and then the other side really doesn't really identify anything that pertains to the game. It just has a lot of flavor text. This one, they actually used every part of the card to actually identify everything that you're going to be doing in the game, and what they even added icons. We notice a lot of player aids do not have icons. It's just text. And so the icons actually, they took that extra step to actually put icons, so it made it easier for people to identify and play the game. So just a great great thought of, just doing the player aid to perfection. So 5 out of 5. So what did you think about the components?
Well, I already said I think they're amazing, and especially for a prototype. I mean, we know they're going to be
upgraded,
awesome.
Yeah,
for the Kickstarter, we already know that.
Yeah.
So, for them to go even better I'm excited to see it. But I agree with Anthony on the animals. They are perfect the way they are.
Yeah,
because to me it has a nostalgia feeling. Of when you're a child playing with little wooden, like little play sets that have the little wooden animals and things. That's what it feels like. It's kind of a nostalgia thing of back when you're a child. Some of the toys you may have had, so it's kind of like, I don't know. I like that aspect of it.
What do you think about it?
I think that these shouldn't be changed. These are awesome. They have a lot of attention to details you can see on these. And even the toucan here, the thing that you move around this, is really good. I like the quality of it. The only thing this, and I also like these cameras.
The action tokens.
Yeah. And the only thing that's like it's not negativity, it's just that I kind of wish that they upgraded this, and like Anthony said, the cardboard, you might need to rebuild it, and it can fade, so I definitely think that plastic or wood would upgrade this a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so what I thought about the whole component quality, just like them, the upgrades are going to be one thing that we really want to see and enjoy. And of course, that's with every Kickstarter, so I guarantee they'll have those. And just like she said, I can't see these being plastic for the simple fact that they're animal and they represent. So the wood kind of has that, pretty much out in the woods and stuff it's.
Like a handmade feel.
Yeah, if you put plastic, it's not going to have that nostalgic of the animal kingdom because it's wood. You see that in the wilderness and woods, just like Serengeti, in plastics, really, that's not part of the, foreground, the everything. So that's why I think this should stay wood, and this just needs a little bit of an upgrade. But 5 out of 5, great components, thoroughly enjoyed. So what was your overall experience?
Of course, it was amazing. It was fun. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like I said in the playthrough, the first game you play with this game, you're learning because it's a lot of strategy. There's so many, because you're trying to complete these scene cards and moving the animals around, and at the same time you have your opponents moving the same animals around. So it's a constant push and pull of trying to get the animals in the perfect location to complete your scene cards. So like it is with chess, you have to plan your moves several heads ahead, but then you've got these guys that are moving, they're messing with your plans because they're moving stuff around. So then you have to reassess, change your moves you're going to make. And so that to me makes it a lot of fun because there's so much strategy. And then, of course, you're kind of at the same time in the back of your mind watching where they're moving, which animals are they moving. And if it just so happens to be one that you can choose, like right here, there's 3 leopards out here. Say I just need one of them to be on the woods or the woodland area where right now they're on water and grassland. So if I know Anthony really needs this one here for the water, of course I'm going to pick that one to swap and put in the woodlands rather than these because it's going to put a wrench in his system. So there's a lot of strategy to it in that sense. And when you get to those final rounds, there's that excitement and that final stretch where you're trying to just, at the end on our game, Quentin and I were just doing luck of the draw, trying to find cards that may have already been completed, just trying to get as many points as we can. Because many times there's a scene card, the animals are already in position, so you just have to pick it up and claim it. And so we were trying our best just to get those because we knew Anthony with his bonus points was going to like totally dominate. So we were getting as many points in as we could. So it's those last few rounds, once it gets to the fourth round, it gets really even more exciting because you know the clock is ticking then. You only have at that point 21 actions or less. If you have to pay 2 coins for an action, you have less than 21 actions because you have 7 coins, 1 per action for those last 3 rounds. So if you put it in that, thinking of it that way, you have to complete what you're trying to do and trying to complete several scenes in 21 actions or less. And you've got these wise guys constantly moving your stuff. So it actually makes it really exciting.
What was your experience?
Rules are good, components are good. It's very competitive because there's a lot of moving and swapping. It's kind of like I've never played chess, but I can tell it's kind of got like that chess feeling to it.
Yeah.
It like seems like chess, and like the components are good. Like I like all the little pieces. I think that the board game is very good. I also like these bonuses that you get. The bonuses.
The award ceremony
tiles.
tiles.
For 4 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that makes it even cooler is like for the rounds, like the later rounds, all the animals are going to be moving. So it really keeps you on
the Great Migration.
Yeah, the Great Migration. It really keeps you on your feet trying to finish off your goals. So overall, I think this game's a 5 out of 5.
Yeah. So my overall experience, I love the game. Like Amanda said, the first game, we were still in the learning phase. Now, with any game, especially any game with many point solid type rules and, just a brand new game. And there was like very few videos we could reference. So, because even if the rule book is amazing, you also want to reference to see what, because a lot of times the rules are, by interpretation and what you think it might be. And so you want to make sure by referencing a video to make sure that that's what, it's...
You're on the same page.
Yeah. And so the experience, which is after the same game, amazing. And I can see where this would get better and better as we learn more strategies and we learn to block each other more. And so be more competitive. But just great game. And so I would give it 5 out of 5 in the experience. What about mechanics? Here you go this way.
I don't do these reviews. So what are mechanics exactly?
Mechanics is pretty much like how the game flows, like each points or each movement, pretty much everything that you do in the game, which I know you kind of already hit that. But
what I didn't talk about already, I guess I'll say, so I won't be redundant. But what I also enjoyed as far as mechanics, because I do like it on the action board. There's a couple things I didn't mention. The action board kind of limits the amount of people that can do a certain action, so that really puts a wrench in what you're doing too, because you could see these actions here. There's only one space open in a 3-player game, so when someone camps on this space, which we did a lot, because you're trying to get the same animals, type of animals out on the map, you have to pay an extra coin to do that action. So that can really hinder you. And so that's where it plays in, where you get less actions because you're paying more to do them. That adds to it. And what really, really makes it exciting is these Great Migration cards. You're literally removing the animals from the board at the beginning of rounds 4, 5, and 6 based on what that card shows. And in a 3-player game, it's all those brown squares are being removed. So that's a lot of animals. That's 12 animals. Or no, sorry, 9 animals, because the blue word. In a 4-player game, you remove all of them. So 9 animals are going to be removed at the beginning of the round. And I believe it's always 9. Yep, it's always 9 animals are going to be removed in a 3-player or less game. So that's a lot And especially if you've been working like those rare cards, they're very difficult to complete for a reason because you get a lot of points for them. So if you've been working on that for a couple of rounds and you have the bad luck that a couple of your animals fall into this random Great Migration card that's drawn, you have to start all that over again. So that makes it exciting and gives it tension. Yeah. So I think the mechanics are great on this game.
What do you think about mechanics?
I think that the gameplay is very smooth. The Great Migration adds a lot to it, and I do think that the board's really good because with the board you can pretty much finish all of your goals as long as you can you can finish your goals as long as you really are focused on them, on most of them. And there's a lot that you can do to hinder your opponents. Like you can camp, you can kind of keep swapping them, and it also helps you out. You can also use off of your opponent's animals, use that to your advantage. And another thing is that the rare cards, the more that you have them, the more they're worth. They're really good to get. But there's some of them are so hard to complete.
Yeah.
And there's only 5 in the whole deck, so that makes it even harder.
Yeah.
To come by.
On some of them, you really have to kind of use these tokens, the special effects tokens, because they can be in any environment, like in any of these, like grass, water, forest, rock, like those. It can be any of those. And that really adds something to the game, those. And you can also keep moving your animals, and you can move their animals too with the food. Yeah. So maybe you can like let's say that you don't, it's the end of the game, and you don't want them to get that, let's say they need these two right here, and they're gonna put one right there next time, and then you really don't want them to get that, so you can just put your food here, and that stops them because you have that animal and they can't finish their goal.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even think of that. That's sneaky. That's good.
Yeah, I think the mechanics are thought out. They're really good. And it just adds to the board game a lot.
And pretty much I agree with Quinn. There's many different, as you can tell, as we played more and more, he's strategizing more. So this game has a lot of strategy to it and many ways to block people. And then also just at some points just staying silent because you know that they're playing, you don't want, the animals moved a certain way or they're going to play something. There was at one point where she grabbed cards that were here out of the 6 that we get to choose from. And she didn't see one of the points. So, of course, I say silent so I could grab it and gain the point right away.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, it was this one at the end. It was 4 points, but you never know. It could be a win or a loss.
Yep.
But sometimes it's best just to be silent. And so just the whole mechanics of the game is just amazing. There's many different avenues. It's a point style type of game, and just with I forget what's that?
Award ceremony.
Award ceremony, the migration, just everything in general is just great way to gain points and play and strategize. So 5 out of 5 in the mechanics. What about the overall replayability?
Oh, I definitely think it has the replayability aspect to it because one, you can pick a different specialist each time because you draw 3 and you get to pick one. So even if it's not as the same card you had before that you might not think is as good, it turns out like the card Quentin got gave him 7 food in the beginning, but it really didn't. It helped him a little, but Anthony's ended up being the best one because his was based on the lesser amount of scenes completed, where mine was based on having a large amount. So you could pick a different specialist, which would change it up. Definitely trying a different strategy. And there's that scene deck is huge. There's always going to be a different combination of scene cards that you're getting as well. So and the animals are always moving. It's not like it's the same. They're not stationary.
No.
and basically it's like a game that's alive because we're constantly, all of us, moving the animals. So yeah, it totally has the replayability value, I think, and I'm sure they will, with the stretch goals and everything in their Kickstarter that's coming up. They'll add things that make it even more so. So yeah, definitely.
It's I think that's very replayable because, like you said, the game is alive. There's all these animals moving, and the specialist, like, there's so many different specialists, and what your specialist does kind of is your strategy. And the scene deck is huge. Like, there are so many cards here. There is a lot of cards. This is definitely a really replayable game, and you're always moving. Like, the animals are always moving. The Great Migration always takes them off.
Yeah.
And you're always adding new ones to the board. Like, you're always adding new ones. And these award ceremonies also.
There's also a variety of those,
Yeah.
and they're double-sided.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's there's 5 rares. Like, you kind of want to go for the rares.
And the hearts.
Yeah, the hearts. There's many different, like, it's a point salad game. And there's many different strategies you can go in this game. And even if you don't start out with the best cards or the most points, you can always come back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can always come back. Like, there is always a possibility to come back in this game.
Yeah.
Well,
There's so much variety.
I was lucid for half the game.
Yeah, you were like Anthony was like right here.
At 19 forever.
Yeah,
and we
he
were
was
over
at-
here at 50.
Yeah.
But what he had was his specialist gave him 45, plus his hearts gave him another 45. So he basically got 100 points, and he finished off with
19.
119.
Yeah.
So he definitely made like the biggest comeback ever.
Yeah.
And he made sure that we didn't get those final points. And he was sneaky, he was silent. He played really well. And overall, it's a 5 out of 5 in replayability. This is a very replayable game, and I could see you playing this game for years.
Yeah.
Not to mention the Kickstarter, the expansions they could be added.
Yeah.
The double-sided board would make it even more replayable if they added that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree with both of them. It's 5 out of 5 replayability. I can't see anything else, but if they, which I'm sure they'll do the stretch goal, there'll be more war ceremonies, the migrations. I hope they do more of those. And then the specialists, if they add like 10 to 15 more of those, and like probably 20 of the migrations, and probably like 10 of these. Wow, the replayability would be for like 8-10 years. You would never get sick of it because it doesn't matter how many times you replay it. You would never go through all those. I mean, you could play 20-30 times, and then you could always change it. And then with the expansions that they add, or if they don't even need to add expansions. If they just added booster cards to pretty much add some of these, that right there would be amazing. And so the replayability, there's so many things that, just simple things that would cost little amount of money and little, more graphic design that would make it replayable for a long, long time. So 5 out of 5 in replayability. Now we're up to the final. Overall total.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Definitely 5 for me. There's not many games that I think are 5.
Yeah.
Like, I like a lot of games, but there's not many that I think are 5. But yeah, this is definitely one of them.
I think that I agree with Amanda. This is also 5. Another thing that I like about the game is the theme. The theme is very good. I used to watch a lot of nature documentaries, so that just adds to the board game.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. It really emphasizes on the theme. They definitely took into account the theme and the board's alive. They're always moving. The Great Migration. There's so much going on, and overall, definitely a 5 out of 5 board game.
Yeah. I agree with Quentin. It's 5 out of 5 for me because just the competitiveness, the strategic aspect of it, the pretty much living board game because it's constantly moving. It's constantly like the animals are shifting, the migration. Like I couldn't think of any game that pretty much does this, where it's literally alive. You're always moving stuff. Everything's always moving, and the theme it's works perfect with mechanics. It's like you can't get a theme like this that works so perfect with mechanics like this. We've never played a game like that.
Yeah, it's also simple.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, some of these games that they say are alive, it's too complicated. Like, they manage to keep the mechanics and rules simple while keeping it, like, constantly moving at the same time.
Yeah, this must have been play tested for years, because for it to flow so smoothly and getting the perfect mechanics for this type of game, this was very thought out. This was like great effort, great work, just everything it was amazing what they did. And so 5 out of 5 overall total. And so just really enjoyed this game. So how do you want to end the film?
Well, I would say definitely check out the Kickstarter. Even if you think this isn't your type of game, I would definitely, just out of curiosity, we will put the link so you can follow the Kickstarter, and they'll email you when it's live, and just so you can see, like us, what the final game is going to have, because I'm really excited to see that, and I think it will probably blow a lot of people's socks off when they see all the upgrades that they're going to offer, and so it's definitely fun. Even if you think maybe, the theme doesn't, the theme, honestly, you don't have to like animals and safaris to like this game. It's about the mechanics and the point salad type games. If you like point salad games, you will like this game, because that's what makes this game so fun. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I also agree, and I think you should definitely, like, if you're curious about this board game, even if you don't like these type of board games, you should follow the Kickstarter. And if this game gets the attention it deserves and it gets really popular, I can see this game making millions of dollars on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like, this is just the prototype. This isn't the finished game. Mm-hmm. And it's awesome. We've never seen a game like this where the board is like alive and there's so much, and overall definitely a 5 out of 5 in all things, and
I agree with Quentin. And with that note, pretty much this is a great Kickstarter that you should watch. Very thematic in the theme and everything. Very competitive in the strategy, and just amazing quality and attention and detail that they did. This game should get a lot of attention, and hopefully it does. And hopefully you like this review. If you like it, like and subscribe. I'm going to have my social media down below in the description, and I'm going to have a link of pretty much the Kickstarter so you can follow it, and see you next time.
Bye!